Basically, in this lesson, we developed more of the scene between Jericho and me, with the argument with the Jericho's telling me about how I need to do this because you need to show everybody how you felt and what you did, and yeah. So we 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 carried on that. Basically, I I agree to this again, and I go on the raft and I say a little monologue talking about a young 14-year-old and describing how he felt, and like he hasn't been home for 9 months, and describing and this bit was trying to it's trying to relate to the audience because it's a younger audience that I don't know how old they are, but I think they're year nine, I think, or year 10. I think it's year 9, so I think it's about the same age. So we're trying to like relate to them and trying to engage them more in what I'm saying because of the age limit. So I describe and like his family and stuff like that. I basically say he hasn't been home. I saw him, and there's this like sad bit where I talk about he I tried to keep him from slipping away. I mean, I tried to keep him from falling in, but he just kept slipping away, as if he was trying to escape from it, like escape from all of this and hide in his mind. And then we added this facilitation bit in after my monologue, where Robert Jericho talks to the audience, saying, they're trying to tell them to think about where would a young boy, a young 14-year-old boy, hide in his mind, and we're trying to get them to think and get information about how they where they hide, like, and we kind of thought ahead and see what they would think, and basically we're trying to prompt them to say like a house, and then Robert to like emphasize the model of like, oh, where in the house, what they doing, is their family cooking for them, what kind of food they are, to try to create this image in their head to involve them more in the story, and and to remind them like how awful the raft was and how bad it was, and it tries to emphasize how bad the raft was, and trying to make the audience feel sorry for this guy that they hated at the start. And after this part, this is where the second survivor comes in. I forgot. I don't know why I couldn't think of a survivor, but this is where the second survivor comes in. Survivor from the safety boat, or safety boat, and we make this little scene where she comes in saying, oh, then Robert goes and greets her, and then she says, oh, what, I thought I would be the only one alone, and then I notice her, and then I say, oh, you weren't on the raft, you were on the boat, and basically it's this little scene where we have this argument between each other, and basically Rob's just taking note from the side. And basically the conversation is, Rob asks, so how was the process of being on the boat? And we also decided the scene where we created the process of the raft, where it was just the three characters of me, Rob, and Daisy. We cut that out, which I was a bit annoyed because we worked quite hard on that scene with the lines, and I thought it didn't work too well. But however, the time we spent on that scene, I thought, was quite decent, and it was quite solid, I thought. So we cut that out, and we created this small. It's a much smaller scene where I say to Robert says to us, "What was the process?" And I say, "Oh, it was chaos. There was low-ranking soldiers trying to keep order, and then there were people like me who got put on the raft, and then there were the others who bought themselves on the boat, and then this triggers this conflict between the boat survivor and the raft survivor, and basically she replies me saying, "Oh, are you criticizing me for my lack of humanity?" And I reply, "No, I'm not criticizing for you. I'm criticizing you for the lack of humanity." And then she's like, "Well, how did we know?" And then and then I replies like, "Oh, of course you knew. You could tell by the supplies you gave us. The people you put on the raft, we were disposable." And she replies, "Oh, we tried." And then I interrupt her and I say, you tried for 4 hours. We were on the raft for 9 days." And then it comes to an end because Robert stops it, and we go into a captain scene where we wanted to show where the captain was and to give the audience more information about the captain, because the captain's basically the main person who caused this horrific scene and this horrific memory, because he got the boat stuck because of his decisions that he made, and how he made the decisions of cutting the rope and just stuff like that. So we wanted to create a short scene, or a scene between the audience and the captain, and to show the captain's decisions and how he was, kind of thing. So that's what we did. And so basically next week I'm trying to get solid on my lines, so I can develop how I speak them or say them, so I can get more like emphasis on the sadness of me of saying them. So that's what I'm trying to do for the next lesson, and trying to think of some ideas for the captain scene. So that's it.